So the way that Spellburst in this game works is that every time your Spellburst fills up, your burst activation, or you're manually using the spell, is then gonna shoot the spell out. And the idea with Searching Inspiration, so Searching Inspiration, is that the idea of Searching Inspiration is that you get either 1 or 2 Spellbursts, depending on if you have the corrode or not. Because if you read the line, it says gain 1 stack of Spellburst. And this one says gain 2 stacks of Spellburst. And the idea here is that you then use a different skill that is not related to your Spellburst skill. So not Thunder Spike, not Chain Lightning, not Thunderbolt Overhead, anything like that. Using a different skill, such as a channeling skill, to then fuel the Spellbursts for Chain Lightning. What I mean by that? So the way that channeling skills in this game works is when you're channeling a skill, it counts as you constantly activating the skill. This is essentially the same as pressing the skill over and over and over and over again. And channeling skills have innately a very high cast rate. So with Path of Flames, you have a cast rate of 3.0, and you can support it with Quick Decision to give it even more cast speed. And every time you use a skill, you have a chance to gain a charge, right? When you're using a skill. So by using a channeling skill, we are constantly getting to 2 Spellbursts because of our helmet. You get 2 Spellbursts, your medium activates, okay? And then your medium activates, and it shoots out the balls. And you get 2, and it shoots out, 2, and it shoots out. So the idea of Searching Inspiration is that you get 2 Spellbursts, you use your channel skill to over and over and over proc your Spellburst, and then at the end of it all, you do a ton of damage. That's why I say that the floor for Searching Inspiration is so low, because that's all the requirements you have. At this point, you are not really scaling your cast speed at all anymore. Like, obviously, you'll still get like cast speed on your gear and stuff like that, but you don't have to think about the Spellburst mechanic at all anymore. You kind of just focus on damage. And you make your damage more, the cast rate at which you're shooting this out is going to stay nearly consistent. As you get more cast speed, it'll only slightly go up, because your Path of Flames cast speed is getting better. Now, if instead you were to play Salt River, the way that you're playing it instead is that you are stacking up a lot of Spellbursts. So if you read the Salt River line, it doubles the amount of Spellburst stacks you can have. And the way that Spellburst in this game works is, let's say you have 2 Spellbursts, and let's say you have 10 Spellbursts, right? By default, it takes 2 seconds to generate... Okay, let's say you have 1 and 10, okay? 1 and 10. By default, it takes the game 2 seconds to charge up 1 Spellburst. But if you have 10 Spellbursts, it takes 2 seconds to charge it up. The rate at which Spellburst charges in this game is always a flat rate. It doesn't increase as you get more charges, it stays at 2 seconds. So, the idea of this helmet is that we, want to reduce the Spellburst charge rate. So if you look right now, with Searching Inspiration, I have a charge time of 2 seconds, and if we were to look at one of my previous builds, with Salt River instead, I would have a charge rate of like 0.77. It isn't actually 0.77, it was even lower than this, but this doesn't show my Megases, my Magi. And the idea of Salt River then is we want to get as many Spellbursts as possible. Because let's say you have 16 Spellbursts, and it takes these 16 Spellbursts 0.6 seconds to charge up. It's gonna go 16 seconds, like 0.6 seconds is gonna happen, and it's gonna shoot out 16 bullets, like boop, 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 16. And while it's shooting these out, it's gonna already be charging again. It's gonna have another 16, and while these are shooting out, it's gonna shoot out again. And these shooting out here and these shooting out here overlap with each other. So these two are happening simultaneously. And again, another 16. And then by like the third 16, these are finished, but now you have a grand total of like 40 Spellbursts that are overlapping with each other. That's why I say that the end game for Salt River is insane, because eventually you can reach 30 attacks per second with this. You cannot reach 30 attacks per second with Surging, but you can with Salt River. However, getting to that many is fucking difficult and expensive. Why is it expensive? Because you need to invest into a lot of Spellbursts, and in this current league, the price of like Kismets and stuff is just obscenely expensive. Like, trying to buy Underturned Fates is just like a complete joke, this league. Everything is just obscenely priced. Trying to fit this in, trying to make this helmet work on a low budget is just killing me. And instead of like suffering with this, I can just go Surging to begin with, gain insane amounts of damage, because again, Surging's a cast speed is pretty much always going to be the same throughout. And then in the hyper late game, if I want to, then I could swap to this to make a different build. But that's how the Spellburst mechanic works on these two builds. And that's how you build the mage. I hope that's very helpful for all of you. Also, another big benefit. So the reason I started Salt River, and in future seasons, I will always be buying this item early. This item early game is fucking awesome. If you play Surging, you need a burst activation. No matter what you do with a Surging, you will not have a good time if you don't have a burst activation. And the burst activation is pretty damn expensive. Even if you, like, you can get shitty rolled on for 2.7k, but on league start, these things are expensive and they take a while to show up. Day 1, day 2 of the league, you don't have any burst activations on the market even. Whereas with a Salt River, you can just equip the Salt River and just manually click the item, the spell, and then it shoots out. You manually click it, it Spellbursts out. Manually click it, it Spellbursts out. And that's why I really like this item, because I can build around this in future leagues now. In future leagues, our progression is going to look like this. We're going to start off. I need to figure out when we can swap exactly, but we're going to go Spellburst. We'll pick up this eventually, whenever. We don't need to pick it up instantly. Like, we'll be fine without it. As soon as we get it, it just doubles the damage. And you're essentially playing a brand build in this game. You know, you click once, it shoots out not much times. You click once, it shoots out a bunch of times. You know, you don't have to spam click with it, which feels amazing. And then eventually, when you have saved up a currency for burst activation and Surging, we're going to swap to this, because it's just more damage later, like, in the mid-game. And, like, this is going to carry you all the way to SS21. Like, most people won't get to the point where you swap back to Salt River. But anyway, I think that's all I wanted to say to explain about the Spellburst and Surging situation. And in case it wasn't clear, I have swapped to Surging Inspiration. I'm going to stick with this for a very long time. I might at the end of the league make a Salt River build, but I'm probably going to kill 21 with Surging. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you all another time. Bye, YouTube. Bye, YouTube. Bye, YouTube.